Hi again, everyone. And on this video, I'm going to talk about extroverted intuition because it's inextricably linked to introverted sensing. And everyone who's got introverted sensing has extroverted intuition and vice versa. So I consider myself, if I have typed myself correctly, a SI and NE user. So these are the functions that are conscious to me in a sense, although NE, I would say as much, if not more so than other functions, operates out of the subconscious. There's like, it comes out of weird places and is, let's say, unpredictable relative to, or even less predictable than other functions may be. So with SI, we have the abstraction. We have, the cup, and it has elements of cupness to it, or we have people who have certain ways that they behave that we've observed, and we have those experiential references. So with those references, you have an idea that one cup is like another cup is like another cup, and maybe this cup is like that bowl, and that bowl is like that mug. And so you kind of combine your abstractions and can kind of move from category to category, but you're staying within the same kind of overall field. Any is a way to break between fields. And what happens there is in the past, I held up my glasses for video and said, okay, Paramecium. And it's like, how the heck do you get from a pair of glasses to microscopic organisms, single cell organisms? And it's actually quite easy in retrospect. I blurted it out without thinking about it too much. But what happened was that the lenses were smudged and they've got a tint to them. And because of that, it reminded me of a smudge tinted lens when I was a kid from a microscope. And through that microscope, I would look at various things, including pond water. And the pond water I would look at had hydra and amoeba and Paramecium. So, ergo, looking at glasses saying Paramecium, it is certain qualities. You're taking the labels that SI has, or the qualities that you've assigned to objects that are already an abstraction, and you're seeing kind of the non-obvious connections between this abstraction and that abstraction that's something completely different. So that ends up manifesting in a whole bunch of different ways. The one that annoys me a bit, and it's kind of obtrusive, it may be unique to me, is a lot of stupid word association and dumb word games. And it just kind of comes out randomly if I'm, I don't know, washing the dishes. Then you just end up with like weird things like dorshing the wishes and harshing the galoshes and so on and so forth. It turns into, and it doesn't have to be just that sort of wordplay, but it's images and music and objects and ideas, and it all just kind of mishmashes around in a wild, uncontrolled state. And this is part of the reason why I enjoy bicycle rides, is because it's a relief opportunity for me to be able to just unfocus and let my extroverted intuition throw its little tantrum and play itself out over the course of several hours, where I'm just not, I'm just able to let go and not have to contain anything, or I can sort of go wherever my head takes me, while my physicality needs just enough attention to keep it, to keep the bicycle moving and upright and not get hit by a car. How do you get from this to the Jungian ideas that extroverted intuition is about possibilities and ideas and novelty? Well, the idea with these word associations and these very unlike associations is that you're making new unlike connections, and the purpose of it is for novelty's sake. And there's some sort of a little payoff that extroverted intuition gives you when there's a novelty that has some heft to it, that has some substance behind it. So you can think up like the words like cucumber sweater, cucumber sandwiches and wool sweater, and then you suddenly combine the two and say cucumber sweater. See, it's already a meme in my head. Cucumber sweater is like this novel new idea, and it's like, what could that mean? Is it a sweater made of cucumbers? Is it a green sweater with cucumbers like woven in as the pattern? How does cucumber sweater manifest itself as a novel new thing in the world? How do I bring this idea into the world as something that's original and different and interesting? Because there's, something latches on and says, this is a nifty idea. Obviously, cucumber sweater didn't cut it for me. My life has not been built around that. But Jung was right in that regard, that any user doesn't necessarily stick with ideas. They have them for a time and then abandon them once they've kind of played out the idea. So that's where all of this kind of wordplay and unlike association and all of the head noise of very unlike things coming together ends up having potential for value. You see the possibilities because you're making novel new connections, and then you kind of try to stick with something and explore it all the way to its possible end. And then once the load itself has been fully played out, again, Annie likes to use its metaphors because of that kind of ability to say exploration of an idea is like digging a vein under the earth for its valuable product. Because of that, you then have the idea that it's fully played out and you're sort of done and ready to cast off the idea. So for a personal example of extroverted intuition, and they're kind of countless, but they're constantly going and constantly being dropped. When I was out riding my bike, I went from taking a drink to then taking that drink leading on to a song by the Zombies. That song by the Zombies led to thinking about the Mamas and the Papas cover album, where one of the singers is wearing a pair of boots. That brought me to Nancy Sinatra's Them Boots Were Made for Walkin', which then brought me to Bootsy Collins, and you can continue this stream forever, backtrack it, go to another footwear-related stream as you wish, or maybe another sartorial stream. Perhaps the bathtub has greater significance, and we can check out other ways that tubs have other tubs that have value, and let those be hop-off points for yet other unlike ideas where the SI labels are non-obvious but somehow connect in the subconscious, and you don't know as you're doing it, but you can retrospectively then say, as I've just done, this is where I made this connection, the leap that came from point A to point C. It was the boots. Always blame the boots. So anyway, I hope that is helpful. As a final thought, I wanted to connect again SI and NE. If you are a SI over NE user, your main awareness will be on the things, and classifying the things and perceiving the things and finding their kind of personal labels, if you will, your interpretation of the thing. And then NE is used as kind of a bridging the gap between those things that pops up occasionally. You see kind of sparks of it, that it's like, okay, once I've run out of idea of cup, let me think about this hard, and all right, I can go from cup to umbrella. But it's more occasional, it's less conscious. Whereas if you're an NE over SI user, well, the individual thing and its qualities is not as important. It's sort of like, oh, this is a placeholder for the ideas that connect. So, I mean, yes, you spend time doing those valuable things, but the nature of the thing itself, tracking the thing, using it as an experiential reference, out of need becomes less important than pursuing novelty that connects these unlike ideas and then spends more of its time and attention exploring how unlike things are mashed together to make innovative, interesting new meanings. And so that is NE. And now I've explained, I hope, both NE and SI, at least as a capsule version. And again, I hope it's helpful, and I will take off with that.